It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll get to see a battle for conference superiority. It's the Lions and the Chiefs on Thursday night primetime.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we kick off a new NFL season with the opener for 2023, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. Well, Charles, our 8th opening night broadcast together, and we couldn't ask for a better place to be. Arrowhead Stadium, been a festive atmosphere all day. Smell of barbecue in the air. They unfurled the Super Bowl banner just a few moments ago. It's a celebration, and they are ready to get the new year started.
What I like most, partner, was that you got them to slow the car down. We got a little taste of that barbecue, not just the smell. We are able to eat it a little bit. I like that, but hey, let's not overlook these Lions under Dan Campbell. They're not here to enjoy the barbecue or the ceremony. They're here to win. They think they've got a good football team as well, and they think that they're going to the playoffs in Detroit.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Chiefs offense now ready to go to work for the first time, led by Patrick Mahomes, the 2018 NFL Most Valuable Player.
There's nothing the league's best quarterback didn't achieve last season. Super Bowl trophy? Check. MVP award? Check. League leader in yards and touchdowns? Check. How does he top the season he had last year? I don't know. But Patrick Mahomes, he usually finds a way.
They run with the second-year man, Isaiah Pacheco. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. Nifty move. Fighting through, and he's got space. Inside the 10. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 6-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
First and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. They'll run here with Pacheco. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising, but they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Pacheco. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Butker's kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. Well, the Lions offense getting ready to go to work here, and under center, a man whose career has been rejuvenated a bit as of late. In season number 8 now out of Cal, it's Jared Goff.
Rumors of Goff's demise? Greatly exaggerated, it seems. Boy, what a big year he had last year. 29 touchdowns. It led the Lions to their first winning season since 2017. Under his leadership, the Lions expect to make the playoffs for the first time in a few seasons.
A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Well, this is a tough spot for these Lions on the road in Arrowhead to start the year, but it's also, you'd have to say, Charles, a showcase opportunity for them, because this is a team that historically hasn't gotten a lot of big opportunities like this.
And when they have gotten them, they haven't really delivered. This is a team, though, that believes that big things are out there for them. And they think that they can start to write a new history, beginning with this game right here.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. This a 2nd and 8. From the 50, it's Goff. Finds Gibbs on a check down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. There's Goff. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But 2 kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about double 0? Like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear. Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Pacheco once again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 112 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. What a career he continues to have. That catch is number 815. That ties him with Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp.
And just think about this. The only people ahead of him in the tight end position in catches, Antonio Gates, Jason Witten, and Tony Gonzalez. You catch 815 passes as a tight end in the NFL, call your tailor and get measured for the gold jacket.
And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to widen their advantage.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL. So they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. A drive that time of 6 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive.
They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st down, it's Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. Oh, nice move. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
3rd and 5. Now Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Now the former Bear, this is David Montgomery. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's first and goal. Montgomery. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they come up now second and goal. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's third and goal. Now Goff. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. A very costly sack there on third and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on fourth.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. Third and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. Badgley able to punch this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good job there to kind of weather the storm in that first quarter and come back with their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to be coming from behind early on, but you're exactly right. They took some time, able to move the ball, and now it's back to a 10-3 game.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Here's Mecole Hardman taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The ball back to the Chiefs and Isaiah Pacheco. And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A run by Pacheco on second down.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Kirby Joseph
with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Fourth down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend.
Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Taking it about the 16.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
The give, right side for Gibbs.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Big stop from a guy who can bring a big hit, Nick Bolton.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing on 3rd, Goff.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Jack Fox now gets set to punt. Hardman on the return. A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have herded him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Now 2nd and 5. Here's Pacheco headed right.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. He's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. 165 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A give right side for Pacheco. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Toss right side to Pacheco. And he is going to lose yardage here. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Noah Gray, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Butker on for the PAT. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zone.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough third down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on second down.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. On third down, here's Gibbs. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the penalty, it helps a little, but they'll still have to navigate a 3rd and 9 now. Here's Goff. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Mahomes. Got a man, that's Richie James. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now here's Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On second down, here's Goff. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Goff on third down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get back out to you guys in KC in just a moment. But first, let's look ahead to what should be a tremendous opening weekend for 2023. In the 1 o'clock games, one that immediately catches the eye is in our nation's capital. A big test for the Washington Commanders as they'll square off with the visiting Arizona Cardinals. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And then on Sunday night, the national audience in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. We got a strong first half out of the running back Isaiah Pacheco. He's already over 100 yards rushing for the game and has a touchdown run as well. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Goff now looks to throw. This is caught by Williams. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
We always knew that 2022 was going to be something of a write-off year for Williams, who was recovering from a torn ACL. But he did play some snaps late and teased Lions fans with his lone catch, a 41-yard touchdown. They believe, and so does he, that the show begins this season.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Out of the gun, Goff. Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire 4th remaining, so stranger things have happened.
Now Goff on first down. And his pass incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
He'll let this go deep for St. Brown.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down.
He'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone, and they hit him for the completion for the first down.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Over the middle, complete. That's James. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down. Mahomes now to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Aleem McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Gibbs will try and pick it up. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Here's Hardman to return. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2nd and 5. They toss it to Pacheco.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. To throw on 2nd down is gone. A short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Mike Edwards picks it off.
And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. 214 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. But he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 3rd down, it's Pacheco.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Detroit getting set to go now. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now Goff. A short pass here taken in by Laporta. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
On second down, here's Gibbs. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 34. Back to throw. Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, Goff. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stays.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Goff looking to throw, and he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the two.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Here's Hardman on the return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The ball back to the Chiefs and Isaiah Pacheco. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed out to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
18 more yards there and another first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Mahomes now on first down. Quick slant to Valdez-Scantling. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. From the 31, here's 2nd down and 2. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Pacheco. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, already his 2nd touchdown here this opening weekend. And the Chiefs are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So here's Goff and the Lions. Down by 15. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They need 2 touchdowns and at least 1 two-point conversion mixed in there as well. Now a first down throw. Goff setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. On first down, it's Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. He wants Reynolds way downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go, fellas.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. That is caught. Josh Reynolds. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here we go. 1st and goal. Here's Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Now it's Goff. And he wisely will throw that one away. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
On 4th down, Goff. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Well, partner, the season officially underway. It was great to be back with you, obviously, but the first game of the year always a special one. And love, I know you do too, love having it on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I think it makes it special, right? It makes it so that everyone is just watching, all eyes on it on a special night like that. I think it's going to be a great season, partner. Can't wait for the next several months. We know there are going to be surprises all the way through the season. And before we know it, we'll be talking about opening up on a Thursday night again next season.
So for Kansas City, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.